This Rollercoaster Superfan has been fighting people for the last train of the day on Hyperia, and he does it almost every day. Yes, this is a bit of a different video, but it's just as interesting as we look into why they are doing it and what are they doing. Oh, do not worry, I shall tell you. On this channel I would usually be covering new rides or theme park updates, but this slightly different development seems to be just as newsworthy, as it concerns the experience of possibly the best roller coaster in the country. Sorry Bob. And it's just a bit amusing. I mean shocking. Tut tut. And for this video I've spoken to various witnesses of this scenario, and I've actually gone and seen it with my own eyes.
With my own eyes.
Yeah, it's quite something. And if you do enjoy this video and theme park content in general, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. We're on the way to 10,000 subs. I know it seems quite a way off at the moment, but any help would be greatly appreciated. So what is actually happening? I'll start with this to paint the scene before going into why they do this, and finally the juicy part, the confrontations, later in the video. That'll be good for audience retention. So towards the end of the operating day at Thorpe Park, this particular individual will hang around the entrance to the queue, kind of like a bouncer. Right mate, here for last train. ID please. Nah, not me. Jog on. Oh, almost hit my mic there, got a bit excited. Don't know if you've noticed, but for the last couple of videos I've had a new microphone. It's nothing too flashy. As you can see, I've positioned it on a big Bob bottle. Bit of alliteration for you. Only costs about 20 quid. Got a couple of these, and I think the sound quality is quite good myself. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Back to the video. Because obviously I wouldn't usually create content about an individual. I would usually focus on the theme parks, the rides, or the attractions, because that's what we're all really interested in, I assume. But I've heard multiple reports of this person getting quite confrontational to other guests, particularly those that have challenged him for last train of the day. Believe me, he loves being at the back of that queue. I don't know if he realises that the train can hold probably about 12 to 15. Why would it be an odd number? There's seats of 2. In my brain I'm trying to figure out how many people get on Hyperia, but basically it's more than 1. That's why I thought I'd raise awareness. I say it jokingly, but I do think it's important to make people aware of that, as we kind of want to avoid anything negative impacting our visits, don't we? We are there to have fun. We're not there to be shouted at by Hyperia Hank. That's an alias, by the way. I don't really want to name the person because, as far as I know, they're not a content creator. They don't put themselves in the public eye, and as far as I know, they're not a criminal or celebrity, and that's why I'm keeping them anonymous. I'm gonna not say their name. I don't actually know their name, and I'm gonna blur their face. And yes, I know this is weird to say, but if you're trying to get the last train of the day on Hyperia, just be wary that you're likely to get confronted if you want to be the last person in that queue. So yeah, I'm just saying this to kind of warn you, because it's really not worth the hassle in my opinion. And it goes without saying that if you are someone that gatekeeps a roller coaster and acts so entitled that you'd get confrontational to anyone else that dares try and get one last ride late in the day, have a word with yourself. You don't own the ride. Everyone has just as much right to get in that queue. Don't even see why I'm even having to say that. Just behave yourself. And if you do enjoy this slightly different style of video, hit that like button. I guess 300 likes and I'll do a similar video on a similar piece of drama within the theme park world. Believe me, we're not short of it. Now let's get into the why. So there are 2 reasons why people at Thorpe Park like to get the last ride on Hyperia. First off, bragging rights. What's the opposite of an ick? Because that's what it is if you get last train on Hyperia. You can tell people you got the last train, you get all the ladies, if that's what you're into. And secondly, and not quite as important as the first point, you can sometimes get re-rides. No, They don't even send it round twice anymore. So basically, previously, if you got the last train on Hyperia, you would sometimes get sent round for a second lap. Just realised they don't do that anymore. So there's only really one reason, and it's for your Tinder bio. And now I'll get into the juicy stuff. The confrontations. And some of it's quite funny. Other parts are actually quite bad and need to be addressed. Let's get serious for a moment. As soon as the time comes to close the queue line for Hyperia, he will make sure that everyone is in front of him. He'll literally force you. And he'll stand with his arms across the railings like this. So if you want to get past him, you have to do a sort of limbo. Have watched as he's literally forced people to go in front of him if they've had the audacity to challenge for the last train. And I've actually spoken to multiple witnesses of him actually getting quite confrontational and irate to people that challenge him, which is so funny to me. Like, what? Remember, Hyperia belongs to him, and he is so kind as to let you ride it.
No diddy.
What? And there's even more controversy, as he's apparently ridden the coaster 1,300 times, only been open for a year, so that is quite the achievement. But the controversy comes from this. I believe his ability to ride it so many times is due to them having a ride access pass. And honestly, it's really not my place to speak on their ride access passes. I don't know their situation. I don't know why they've got it. I'm going to talk about it anyway.
I'm a naughty nipper.
Because I've seen them with my very own eyes queue quite comfortably in the main line for the last ride of the day. It's a Hyperia miracle. I joke. And I do want to emphasise that I don't believe this individual has actually broken any rules at Thorpe Park. If anything, they have just played the system with their ride access pass. And if anything, it's up to Thorpe Park to implement better measures. And then to conclude that point, when talking about theme parks addressing issues with Rap Pass abusers, it's fair to say that it's just a minor thing for guests like myself in the main queue, but it does actually impact guests that need the pass, and it not only makes their wait times longer, but it will continue to make it more difficult for the passes to be attained and then further used to good effect. So in my opinion, it is an important point to speak on. Okay, I'm going to add this in now, but I 100% got caught filming this guy when I was getting B-roll for this video. At one point, he literally looked me dead in the eye. I'm in trouble. But at the time, I was too busy laughing and disapproving of his actions to even really care. But now I'm editing the video. It's still hilarious. I'm tempted to even challenge for last place in the queue. Comment below if you want to encourage that level of mischief. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Ciao, legends.
That was good, wasn't it? Please, sir, can we have some more? You don't have to call me sir. But here's your link. Click it. Sir Pun a lot would sound cool though.